Welcome to Ruth's Little Kitchen. Today I am going to show you the melting method of cake making, and we are going to make delicious dark chocolate raspberry brownies which you can serve up to your friends or keep as treats just for yourself. As with baking, it's really important you have the oven at the correct temperature, and brownies are going to be needed to cook at 160, and we want to make sure the middle shelf is in the correct place. So for our chocolate brownies, we're going to use the melting method of cake making, and it's really important that you do not burn the chocolate and the butter. So off the heat, pop in your butter that I've chopped up so it melts a bit quicker, and then I'm going to break up all my delicious chocolate. Try and use 70% cocoa solids or above, and then it won't seize. So I'm just putting that on a really low heat. I'm going to keep an eye on it. While your butter and chocolate are melting, just occasionally give it a stir. Put all 3 eggs in with the sugar, remembering that after you've handled eggs, wash your hands. So when it's well combined, just put it to the side. So very gradually, I'm going to sieve in my cocoa powder and my flour. So I'm going to add it in thirds, and I'm going to stir in between each time. So I'm putting a little bit of my flour in, then a little bit of the cocoa powder, and I'm just combining it in. I'm using a whisk here, but you could easily just use a wooden spoon. When you're folding it in, make sure you go right round the bottom. The more goes in, the sort of stickier it's becoming. After the chocolate has all melted, you're going to leave it to cool for 5 to 10 minutes. So I've let my chocolate mixture cool down a bit. Now it's really important that that has cooled down, because you're going to add the hot mixture into the eggs. If that was too hot, it could cook the eggs, and it's very important that you add it gradually and slowly bring the temperature of the eggs up. So here goes. I'm just going to dribble a little bit in and give it a stir. I'm also just stirring the bottom just to make sure if anything's sort of settled there, I'm getting it up. Oops. Oh, it smells so chocolatey. As ever, use your spatula to really scrape out the bowl and try and get least waste possible. So now I'm going to put it into my prepared tin, and as ever, pour into the middle and let the mixture settle outwards. So just spread it out so it's nice and even in the tin. And then finally we're going to put our raspberries on top. I love the raspberries in this recipe. It's a really chocolatey, rich brownie recipe, but when you put these little raspberries on, they look exquisite. So what we're going to do is put them on the sides, poke them down, try and get them into even rows. And I have gone on some very nice picnics and just cut these into small little squares to serve. The raspberry is great because it sort of cuts through the richness of the brownie. Now we're going to put them into the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. Now brownies are going to be soft when you take them out of the oven because they've got so much chocolate in, so much butter in, so much sugar in, that needs time to settle. So we're going to leave them just to rest in there for about 10 minutes until the container cools down, and then I shall transfer them across there. Brownies are dense and moist, so leaving them in the tray is not going to hurt them. So my brownies have cooled down. I'm just going to loosen them in this tin. Just thought I'd show you this wee trick. I'm just going to cut them into little squares. Now, obviously, it is completely up to you how you cut them. I do like to cut them into, they are exceptionally rich. So I do like to just cut them into strips like this. The raspberries sort of act as a measuring guide, which is quite handy. I can't think who wouldn't like these. Delicious dark chocolate brownies with raspberries made with the melting method of cake making.